Hey guys, it's Andrew Malkoski, and I am hanging out with Craig Dees with JFR and Associates. And Craig is an auto broker. We've been having a couple of conversations here about what he does. But Craig, when I'm helping a buyer with a home, I have a process that we sit down and we go through the process. We use the same process every time. It's how we get the right results. Make
Sure.
sure we got the right results. You have a process for how you help buyers. Walk us through a little bit about what that looks like.
Well, the first thing is actually talking about wants and needs and
Sure.
helping them through that process. What's important to them?
Yeah.
Is it payment? Is it the color of the car? It amazes me how many different varied wants and needs people actually have, but
Right.
actually listening to them. I feel like if I do the right thing for people, good things are going to happen for me, regardless of whether or not it turns into a sale or not.
Sure.
A little bit different from the dealership. You're walking through the door, you're not leaving until you buy a car. My process can take a day. I've had somebody take a year before. A little bit slow, but I'm more than happy to help them walk through that process. And I talk to my clients about those needs, and then I give suggestions. And I always tell my clients, I never want them to think that I'm trying to convince them of anything. I make suggestions. If they tell me no, that suggestion's off the table.
Hmm.
So it's a little bit different than what a dealership will do. They're just trying to sell whatever's on the lot.
When
So
when you are when you're talking to somebody about wants and needs, how often are clients coming to you and going, "I want a blue this," like they know exactly what they want, versus how often are they coming and going, I'm interested in this kind of thing, and you're helping them walk through different options that might work out better for them in the end.
I would dare say most people know what they're looking for, but I do have some people that just have no idea what's important to them.
Sure.
So I ask questions like, how often do you go into the mountains? How often are you driving? How many miles are you driving? What's the most important thing? How important is silly to say, the radio? Okay, but some of those things are important to some people.
Yeah.
Most of the options you can get in cars, you can get in any manufacturer. Okay, so
Right.
there's really not going to be a differential between manufacturers in that respect. It has to do with longevity. It has to do with safety. It has to do with the price of the car,
Sure.
things of those nature that do change. And that's where a broker can help. Since we're not pinned down to a certain manufacturer, used or new, I can help by making suggestions and opening up that book a little bit more things maybe they didn't even think was available to them.
And then in this process, so you're sitting down, you're talking about wants and needs, really trying to dial in what it is that you're going to do to help. Once you start looking for cars, what does that look like for you? I mean, anybody in my business, anybody can go on to, Zillow or whatever, some of these other, homes.com or whatever. They can
Yep.
go look at inventory of homes
Yep.
all they want. In your business, there's so many places online where people can look at these cars. Um, but ultimately, when they come to work with me, it is this process that helps them. So when you get started looking for the actual physical car they're going to buy, what does that look like? How do you do that?
Well, used is different than new.
Okay.
We have partners within the new world, the franchises that we partner up with, and they
Okay.
help us out. Those are pretty easy. I mean, it's pretty much a set process, set price, and everything. A Toyota, I know what the price is going to be approximately. It does change depending upon the market.
Sure.
For instance, during COVID, man, new car was so hard to find, so hard to
Yeah.
find. So prices can fluctuate a little bit, but a broker will still protect you from that. There's other things too there that we can actually look at, like incentives. Sometimes going through the manufacturer for finance, it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. So when I'm looking for cars, I've got partners that make that process easy for me,
Yeah.
therefore easy for my client.
Hmm.
On the used side, there's so many different avenues, and COVID really did change that process a little bit.
Okay.
The dealerships, inexpensive cars right now are very difficult to find, kind of like houses. They're
Yeah.
difficult to find. Everybody wants them.
Hmm.
So my partners with dealerships buying those types of cars have changed. So a lot of times I'm actually going out to the auction to find those, and I protect my clients by going to the auction, quite honestly, because of the benefits that I get from the auction as well when I buy those cars. There's some certainty there.
Wow.
Versus if you buy a used car at a dealership, you would not believe how many times I see a car at a dealership website. I call them to see if it's still available. I go see the car, and there's something that's not disclosed, like hail damage or something like that. So going to the auction kind of protects both of us in that respect. But I'll go to dealerships, I'll go to auctions, I'll go to wholesalers. Sometimes I can even buy trades or from private parties and help my clients out as well.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it really opens up the book. So
Very, very cool.
yeah.
If you're buying cars, guys, give yourself options and find somebody who is going to look out for your best interest. My buddy Craig does all of that. Thanks a whole lot for listening, and thanks for coming and hanging out with
Thank
me
you.
today,
Appreciate
buddy.
it, Andrew.
Yeah,
It's my pleasure.
thanks, guys.